first time. Very good.
I wanted to wear ears because it just feels like the right thing to do, but I was like, it's sandals, so maybe I shouldn't. So then I found like the most tropical looking shirt I owned, and I'm like, maybe that's enough of a
I
theme.
love it. No, that's great. That's perfect. I don't know how many people will be joining since it's not on our normal time and our date, I guess. And so totally understand, but I still wanted to get it done at least this month. And,
We're doing it.
it'll be recorded. So they can always go back and watch.
Sounds good. Tell me about your ears. I see some Star Wars. I love these.
Yeah, these are really awesome. They are from a place called Millennial Boutique, and they're on Etsy, but I found them at a vendor show and I loved them. They're super soft material.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
were really pretty bow. And yeah, oh, they got a little fuzz up there or something, but
They're really
I really liked
cool.
them. So I was like, gotta get them.
Is the headband thicker or like how is it comfortable?
It's a thick
Yeah.
headband. So,
Okay.
I will say maybe my head is weird. I feel like it's a little like I feel like they could fly off my head easy.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends. I'm super picky about the way that they fit. So,
I got a pair that just felt like heavy, like they
yeah.
were too much weight. And then I'm like, I can't wear them all day.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I'm
For
with you.
sure.
Ears matter. The right ears matter.
100%, yes. Yeah. So let's see. How do we see who's watching? I think is it in the top left corner, usually like where that little star is?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, usually. So we don't have anybody watching yet, so that's okay. I figure we don't need to get too, I guess we can still go through our kind of
Yeah.
thing once,
Yeah.
even if nobody joins, but we can go through it and that way they can watch it later. But it would be, I'll start at like a 7:05, I
Yeah.
think. Does that sound good? Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that is totally difficult for me because we do everything on CST for the agency, but I'm EST. So every time I have to double check it. And I don't know why it was saying that because I always put it for 6 o'clock CST. So
Totally fine. Where are you? Where are you Eastern time? I'm in Ohio. So where are you?
I'm in
Okay.
Virginia.
I used to live in
Yeah.
Virginia. I lived in
Oh,
Northern
did
Virginia, like near
oh,
DC for quite a while. Yeah.
oh, cool. I'm in Roanoke.
Oh, I know it well. And we
Yeah.
also go to the Outer Banks every year. And so like that's our family spot. And we always visit our friends that are in the Richmond
Oh,
area. So I feel like I'm
nice.
well versed in Virginia at least.
Nice, nice, nice. You're going on the agency trip?
I'm not. No.
Oh.
We have like our family trip is not too far after. And then I just had one in February. So I'm like, how many flights I can keep booking? That's the
I
problem.
totally understand. We're kind of in
Yeah.
the same boat, but I was like, I have to go. It's dear and Mickey's not so scary.
I know. I went last year. I took my daughter for her 6th birthday, and we went to the Mickey's Not So Scary party on her actual
Oh,
birthday, and it was so much fun.
so good. I know. I love it. I want to go to the Disneyland one really bad, the Oogie Boogie Bash. Yeah, that's next.
I got to get to Disneyland. Like it's been a long time, and it's just again, it's the flights. Like when I can plan
Oh,
to
yeah.
go that far.
I've never been, so I need to go.
Yep, bucket list.
Yes, for sure. All right,
Oh, I think you muted.
sorry about that. So, okay, well, let's get started at 7:05. So we can just have kind of casual talk about sandals since we don't have a lot of viewers, but maybe they'll watch later. So,
Yeah.
Callie, you have booked some sandals trips or you have been to Sandals?
I've been to Sandals a few times.
Awesome.
Not that I would say, my first trip to Sandals was in 2015. And we went to Montego Bay and it was incredible.
Nice.
And then we went again for our honeymoon when we got married. My husband and I went and we did 10 days in Negril, Jamaica. And it was amazing. It was like, and we did kind of different experiences both times. We picked Jamaica because there's just easy flight access to get there from where we are, and loved every experience. And there's been a lot of updates to some of those resorts since we were there. So I think there's just a lot for people to enjoy. I think it's rare to truly get an all-inclusive resort experience, and these truly are. Like I remember leaving my wallet and everything in the safe in the room for 10 days and never needing it, and not having to think about what you're ordering or how much a drink costs. Like it's just all taken care of. So I think for me, that was something that I'd never experienced other places. And it's kind of a special treat.
Absolutely. That sounds wonderful. So when you said that there have been lots of updates, would you say that it's sort of like Disney and the fact that they're always updating, or is that something that Sandals does? There's constantly update and modify and make
Yeah,
it the best
Yeah,
experience.
I think there's like two things that Sandals is always doing. They're opening new resorts. There's still three that are considered new resorts. You've got St. Vincent, you've got Curacao, and then Sandals Dunn's River, which is in Jamaica as well. And so I think they're always bringing new ones in, which also means they have to continue to upgrade their older resorts so that
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like a dramatically different experience. And so Montego Bay was their original resort.
Okay.
It's really close to the airport there, so it's a very easy place to get to. But they went through a big renovation. I would say it was probably 2017, 18. Well, definitely before COVID, I would say. And so that's been an upgrade that I think they want to just keep maintaining that level of standards, especially as they open these amazing new properties. And they want to make sure that no matter where you go, you're not getting a vastly different kind of experience.
I love that. Yeah, we want to keep things modern, of course.
Mhm.
Do you know how many resorts they have total?
Yeah, there's 18
18.
Sandals resorts. And then of course they have the beaches side of their company, which is more of the family all inclusive. So that's a whole separate option. But for Sandals specifically for couples and adults only inclusive, it's 18.
Nice, nice. So, what is your, other than having everything all inclusive, what was your favorite thing that you did while you were at Sandals?
I feel like there's two different types of people on vacation. There's like lay on the beach and don't have a plan people, and then there's like all the activities and excursions. I am lay on the beach and don't have a plan person. So for me, that was a treat. But one of the things that I really enjoyed is we actually did an extra experience where we were able to have a private dinner on the beach. And so they set up this beautiful table. This was like an add-on that we decided to do because it was our honeymoon. But there was just this private dining experience with the water, and the sun was beginning to set, and we had this amazing special menu with our names on it, and it was just a super romantic like
Cute.
moment that we had. And they have them set up all around the resorts, whether it's like in a gazebo over the water or on the beach itself. And so I think there's just really nice things you can do that still make it feel super private, even if you are at a resort with other guests. So I think that for me is like one of my favorite moments.
That's awesome. And so that would be an addition to what you're paying for. That's like an add-on package
Yeah.
type thing.
So there's like
Okay,
special
that's great.
add-ons.
Yeah.
There's spa packages you can add on,
Ooh.
obviously. I did a one where we did massages on the beach. So it was actually like this gauzy curtained hut type of thing, but like you could hear the water just like lapping up on the shore,
Oh,
and had like a hot stone massage doing that. So there's a lot of really cool, and it's all really customizable. So like they've got options, but they'll work with you to kind of make it whatever you want it to be and whatever you're comfortable with. So the spa treatments can be extra, special dining, things like that. There's additional excursions you can do that are going to be add-ons, but there's also tons of things that are just included in the price, which you can take advantage of.
I love that so much. Let's go over some of the things that are included in a Sandals package, just off the bat. And so you said that you have done more of the not the beaches, right? The family thing, more of the
Sandals.
regular Sandals
Mm-hmm.
vacations. So what is included? What does that mean, all inclusive?
Yeah. Yeah, so every restaurant, every meal that you eat will be included. I know sometimes you can go places and they'll have certain restaurants that are just
Like
exclusive and you have to
on
add on.
cruises?
Right, like on cruises,
Yeah.
totally. So it's all included. And depending on the resort size and the resort you're at, there may be 8 or 9 restaurants on property if it's a smaller resort, or up to 16 for some of the larger ones. So you don't have to eat at the same place twice, which
Nice.
is really great. All of your meals are included, and all of your premium alcohol is included, which is a really rare thing as well. One of the things I didn't expect until we went to Sandals was that you can actually, in advance of your trip, make notes of what types of cocktails or beverages you want to have in your room's cooler, in your refrigerator, on hand nearby. So if you have someone who's a big bourbon drinker, like they'll make sure there's a bottle of bourbon in your room for you that you can have. And so things like that, just nice touches. So stocked bars in every room, premium wines, premium liquors, and then also they usually have up to about 11 bars. So there are some pool bars. There are bars near the pools. There's bars and restaurants. So all of that's included. There's also a lot of activities. So entertainment, there's performers that they bring in, local performers, which I think is amazing. They'll have special nights where maybe there's a party on the beach and they'll have drummers playing and they'll have performers and artists, and you get to just kind of experience a lot of the culture of whatever island
Oh, I
you're
love that.
visiting. Yeah, so you feel like you get to meet a lot of locals because most people who work on these properties are local to the area. So you get incredible service, you get incredible rich culture and interactions with the people. And you can also do like scuba and water sports and golf. Those are all things that are included. So if you have golfers, there's some pretty incredible courses in a lot of these destinations too.
Nice. That sounds so exciting. I am an activities kind of gal, so I love that.
You do the activities, I'll lay on the
Yes.
beach, and we will both have the vacation of our
We'll
dreams.
meet
I
for
get it.
dinner.
Totally.
I love that. That's so fun. Um, so tell me a little bit about, I think we had chatted some about the what am I looking for? What's the words? So the benefit, like what Sandals does something to give back, and it's really an awesome program. Tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that's really exciting about Sandals is that they are focused really on giving back to their local communities. One of the things that is true of all the Sandals resorts is the food that you're eating is grown local and grown fresh. So you're getting this really great um, taste of the islands, but you're also, really serving the local people who are doing the farming, who are doing
And
all of that work, and
supporting.
kind of putting money back into the community. When we went, opted for a room that had what they call butler service. So you have a butler that is dedicated to you for your trip, and they'll reserve your spots on the beach and bring you drinks and make your reservations for you and kind of just be there for anything you need. And I learned a lot about just their experience in working for Sandals. And I will say I mean, we've had multiple butlers while we've been there, just raved about how it was like the job that everyone on the island wanted, was to be able to work in these resorts because they're treated so well. It's a really great place for them to provide for their families. So they do really encourage like a lot of the local people to be a part of the communities. So I think those are some things that they do that just make a big difference. And it also allows for you to have like a really rich experience because people who are there really want to be there, and they really give it everything they have. So outside of just what they're doing for the local people, they're also doing a lot of work for the environment. So they're spending money and giving money back to conservation efforts. They're making sure that as they're living in that area, they're also kind of protecting the shorelines and protecting a lot of the local plants and trees. So there was something like 27,000 trees had been planted by Sandals, just because it's part of how they go into these areas and make sure that they're giving, back what they're taking from the land essentially. And they also do things like animal welfare, and they provide a lot of additional medical support to different areas for things like newborn babies and being able to treat different illnesses and things. So there's a lot in community and environment that they focus on. So I think if you're going to spend money on an all-inclusive vacation, knowing that it's also going to a really good place and going to really great people can make a big difference too.
Absolutely. I love that. That's awesome. And like you said, you feel better about working with a company that is, good to their people. So that's
Yep.
awesome.
One of the things I wanted to
Awesome.
say too about the butler service, because I thought it was fascinating, and I wanted to research and make sure it was like actually still the case. All of their butlers are actually trained through the Guild of Professional English Butlers. So it's a very traditional English butler experience. So they gain all of the skills and kind of standards of the British butler service that you would see in like a Downton Abbey or whatever it might be. So there is that white glove kind of vibe and style
Nice.
that you get from the butler service, which is just kind of a cool thing. But they go through all this education and training that they can take with them, and do a lot of different things too. But I thought that was really kind of a unexpected and neat thing that
I
they do.
love that. That's awesome. So how do most people travel to a Sandals resort? What does that look like? A
Yeah.
plane? I mean,
Yeah. Depending on where you're going, right? Like you're going to have a flight or two to get to
yeah.
where you are. Some places are like Antigua might take a little longer. But if you book a Sandals resort, they will already include for you your shuttle service from the airport to your
Nice.
resort. So you're not having to worry about like a third party transportation option. It's all very secure. So when you land, from my experience in landing in Montego Bay, for example, as soon as you get to the airport and you go through kind of like your customs and the things you have to do, there's a Sandals dedicated lounge.
Okay.
And so you walk in the airport and you walk with your bags, and they will automatically take your bags and tag them, and you don't have to touch your bags again from
Oh,
that point
nice.
on. So they will tag them for you. There are free cocktails and beverages available for you in the lounge while you wait for your shuttle. And then they will take you directly to the resort. There's a welcome kind of process an area that you get to go and enjoy and relax in, and then they will take you to your room and your bags will be there.
Oh, that's
So it's
awesome.
really, as soon as you land, you are on Sandals time, you are taken care of by Sandals, even from just stepping into the local airport that you land into.
Immersed immediately. I love that.
Yeah, like vacation
Awesome.
starts as soon as you land is kind of how we look
That's
at it.
awesome. And I'm sure that, so that's the benefit of having you as a travel agent, is that you can recommend certain things. Like, okay, I would go with maybe, I mean, we don't book flights, but you could say, hey, I recommend this flight into this airport because
Mhm.
this is, you've been there and you understand, where the airport is going to be. And you look into things like that. So you look into what is the best travel situation for your client. That's
Absolutely.
awesome. So how easy is it to get in touch with you if someone would like to book a Sandals vacation?
Super easy. We have our website, we have our forms. There's my Facebook page. There's a lot of ways that we can help at Chasing Neverland Travel for all things sandals related. I think the biggest thing is really helping kind of craft what is it you're looking for. Again, we talked about, like, are you the adventure person? Are you the relaxer? Are you a little bit of both? Is maybe you're a couple and you have very different ideas of how you want to spend your time.
Yeah.
So being really clear and understanding what those nuances are can help us make like the perfect recommendations for which resorts and how to spend your time, whether it's 5 nights or whether it's 10 nights, whatever the time you have. So I think that's some of the fun that we get to have and that I get to have is helping kind of identify, like, what is that secret thing that is going to make it really special, and we just go from there. But really, booking through Sandals is super easy. They're really accommodating. Even if you're someone who's like, I'm getting married in a year, we've always imagined a destination wedding. Sandals is a great option for destination weddings too. They plan weddings probably more than any regular wedding planner does. They are constantly having weddings on their property, booking groups. We can do groups so that you can have all the friends and family that join, have space at the resort as well. But they take care of every detail. And if you imagine it, you don't have to worry about planning for flowers and planning for these things because you're literally in
Yeah.
paradise, and your surroundings
You don't need to decorate. It's
are
beautiful.
covered. Yeah. So there's another thing there that I think not everyone realizes, that they do that, but they've been doing it for many decades and they do it really well. So there's a reason a lot of people choose to get married for a destination wedding at one of their properties too.
Yeah, it's all taken care of. Why would you not?
Right.
And it's, these days it's probably cheaper to do that because I see
Especially when
with
it's all
my friends
together.
and some people pay for weddings and it's nuts.
Yep. They've got photographers on site, all of the details. So it's really, it's pretty stress-free.
So there you go. That's what people should do. They should just book a destination wedding with their closest friends and family, and get with one of us, and we'll book it for you
Yep.
and set you up with a planner and save some money.
Yeah. And I would be happy to join you if you need more people to come to your wedding. I think that sounds like a lot of fun.
Exactly. And I don't know if you knew this, Callie, but I believe Samantha is a professional wedding planner as well. I own an event planning company and I do weddings all the time. And so, yes, I think Callie and I both would be happy to join anybody and coordinate their wedding while they're
Let's do it.
there.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's awesome. So, what would you say if I was contacting you today and I was like, "Hey, I want to book a sandals vacation. What do I need to do to prepare? What does it look like for me at home while you're doing all the hard stuff? What does it look like for me? What do I need to get ready, like packing and buying things and things like that?"
Yeah, I mean, as non exciting as this sounds, like, passport is number one. Like, have your passport up to date, make sure it's in order. Other than that, it's really just about packing and enjoying your time. I think that, again, depending on how you want to spend your time, there's a lot of different dining options. You can do things as casual as you want. So if you don't want to pack dresses and you want to stay with more of a shorts vibe, totally can do that.
Yeah.
If you want to have some special dinners or special nights out, or even that like signature dining kind of special on the beach dining moment, you can just think about your outfits and packing and have fun with that. But when it comes to like beach gear, towels, and floats, you don't have to bring any of that with you. They have all of
All
that
inclusive.
there, all included. And even if you forget something like sunscreen or contact solution, they have these great shops on every property. So don't worry. It's one of those things where I always tell myself when I'm traveling somewhere, hey, if I forget something, it's okay. I'll find it. That's true at Sandals as well. So just know that they have that. They also have medical support and nursing and things like that right on property. So if you find yourself with the sniffles or something, they will have help there too. So it's really just pack while we plan and look forward to the time, but making sure that passport is ready to go. and just being really kind of thoughtful about what are those things you really want to do, or things that you maybe don't want to do. If you're like, hey, I'm not into taking the catamaran boat ride, but I'm really into doing some of the shows, like what are those things? That's where we can kind of help along the way and share more details about what might be happening at the resort.
Nice. Well, something I was thinking while you were saying that is I am most comfortable in a flowy dress. So you can have pretty dresses like you're wearing now and just go out, and enjoy yourself in those, but you're also cooler because you have a dress on, you don't have to wear pants. It's awesome.
Oh, I'm all for like dresses so that I can eat what I want to
Yeah,
eat and not feel like I'm confined. So I'm here with a flowy sundress myself.
me too. So how far in advance does someone need to get a passport to order a passport?
Yeah, I mean, I always say that as far as you can,
Okay.
but I would say plan for like 6 months to really just make
Oh
sure that you
wow.
get it in time. It
Okay.
depends on what's going on. Some people can get it back in 6 weeks and it's really great, but I would hate for anyone to feel stressed or get to like the final moment. If you're not doing anything dramatic like changing your name along with your passport, if it's just a simple renewal, that can be a lot smoother and a lot faster. Maybe that's something you do a couple months in advance instead of a little further out.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's probably like first on the list, things you need to do.
Yep.
I love
But I
that.
mean, Sandals also runs some incredible promotions. I mean, they've got sales going on right now for this fall and heading into the back half of this year. So sometimes people feel like they have to plan so far in advance. It's not necessarily always the case. There are some great options at the resorts, even coming up in the next few months. So if you have your passport in order, you have it because you're traveling often. You can book a trip pretty quickly and be able to be on site and enjoying the all-inclusive experience really soon.
That's awesome. Megan says she did a destination wedding in Mexico and it was the best decision they ever made. I
You
love it.
know, we did not do a destination wedding, Megan, and there were moments where we were like along the way, we really should just do a destination wedding. But it was great for us, but also like we wish we could just have a take two. Maybe when we have like a big anniversary, we could do something like
Yeah,
Sandals or something.
absolutely. It's always been my dream to have a Disney wedding. So like when I've seen that, but I think that it could be just so much less stressful to do a sandals wedding. It could be
Probably.
so nice to go and then just like have your honeymoon right there after.
Yeah,
Just stay
absolutely.
there.
And you could, the thing with Sandals is like if you want one of those like over the water bungalows, they have those. They have those swim out rooms where just from your balcony you can swim right
Oh,
out into a pool. And then they've got standard rooms too where you've just got great views. So I mean, whatever you're in for, they have it at pretty much every resort, all those options.
oh goodness, that sounds like paradise.
When are we going? Like, now
Yeah,
the more I
yeah.
talk about it, I'm like, I need to get my next cruise
Next
booked.
agency trip.
Yeah, yeah, Jackie, please.
I love it. Well, we got all of that information out really quickly. Did you have anything else you wanted to share before we wrap up?
No, I think the one thing just to note too is I think that there's often like it can feel like it's always going to be really, really expensive to do an all-inclusive resort. And there are some really great packages. And I know that we post them on our agency Facebook page and we post them on a lot of our personal pages too. But there's some really great options to go for just a couple $1,000s and have a completely all-included experience depending on your dates and when you would like to go and what type of room you prefer. So don't be turned off by the idea of all inclusive thinking it's going to be a huge price point. It can really be a large range of affordability given when you want to travel and what you might want to do while you're there. So talk to one of us before you write it off completely because there may be a really great option for you if you're looking at something all inclusive.
I would love for always thought this. I would love for anybody who thinks it's too expensive to go and check out their beach trips and like their regular, just closest beach trip that they take with their family. Add up everything you spend plus everything you have to have like in advance and pack and travel with you and the all that extra time and all of that. Add all of that up and then see is it more expensive actually to go to Sandals? Probably not. And if it is slightly more expensive, look at all of the relaxing time that you're getting, not having to do all that extra stuff, and just I think that it would be totally worth people's time, and if they would take that like those a couple extra minutes to add all that up, they would see that we can make it happen for them.
Totally. And I think the other thing is for people who are in a different stage of life where you have kiddos and you are now kind of with family dynamics, there's also the beaches
Yeah.
component that sandals and beaches together. So if you are looking for something all inclusive with your kids that has kids camps and zones and places for them to also interact with kids their own ages, there is kind of that next chapter of life option for those of us who have little ones to check out beaches too. So All inclusive doesn't only have to be couples; it can also be for families. So I just want to point that out too.
Nice. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I know we had to move the date a little bit, and so it was a little kind of crazy, but I think it's awesome that you've joined me anyway and you were able to make it work. And you were able to provide us with so much information about sandals. And I'm super excited I'm thinking about booking my next sandals trip.
Let's do it. Yeah, thank you. It's a super fun to talk about. And if anyone has questions, like, you know where to find us. You can come to our pages. They're also linked in this invite. So feel free to send any messages my way if you have any questions about it, or if you want to figure out what it could look like for you. Like, we're here to help.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me, and it was lovely chatting with you.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.